All right, good evening. Will the meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission for Wednesday, August 15th, 2018, please come to order? For the benefit of those who may or may not have participated in the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, our procedures are as follows. 1, we will read the legal call to the meeting as published in local newspapers. 2, the applicant will be invited to come forward and present the case, explaining to the commission and others present what's being requested of the property. Comments of town agencies will be read for each application if there are any. There'll be clarifying questions from the commissioners, and there will be an opportunity for clarifying questions from the audience. First, those who wish to support the application may come forward, and second, those who oppose the application will be invited to come forward and express their opinion. As this is a public hearing and may be recorded, it's necessary for all the speakers to identify themselves by stating their name and address before addressing the commission. The applicant is then free to leave or remain for the balance of the public hearing at the regular meeting, at which time the commission will try to reach a decision on each application. Each applicant will be notified in writing as to the decision of the commission and has a right to appeal Superior Court if desired. The decisions of the meeting are available the day after the meeting by calling the Planning and Zoning Office at 453-8039 after 9 a.m. So tonight seated we have members going from my left to right: Scott Edmond, Jason Markey, Alan Brown, I'm Frank DeAndrea, and Matt Yorzinski. Our staff present tonight are George Kroll and Lisa Piambino. And our videographer this evening is Peter Schultz. Secretary, please read, actually, before we read the legal notice, I'd like to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sorry I didn't call that first. I apologize. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so the secretary will read the legal notice. Matt, do you have that? Alan, who has it? Matt, you want to take it?
Legal notice, Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission. Notice is hereby given that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing on August 15th, 2018 at 7:30 p.m. at location Nathaniel B. Green Community Center, 32 Church Street, Guilford, Connecticut, Monunketuck Room, 2nd floor, for the following purposes: Claremont remodeling, 541 Sawmill Road, map 85, lot 65, zone R5, special permit for existing 920 square foot accessory apartment located in the main dwelling. First public hearing. Copies of these applications are available for inspection in the office of the Planning and Zoning Commission, Town Hall South, 50 Boston Street, Guilford, Connecticut. At this hearing, persons may attend and be heard, and written communications will be received. Dated at Guilford, Connecticut, this 24th day of July, 2018. Phil Johnson, Chairman.
Thank you, Matthew. So let's jump right in. Claremont remodeling. Somebody here? Oh.
My name is Jared Claremont. Address 8 Federal Square, Mansfield Center, Connecticut. I'm representing Josh and Sarah Lockwood, 541 Sawmill Road, Guilford, Connecticut. So my client bought the property with the apartment already done by the previous owner. They had done an addition, and they had built living space in the basement. He had no idea about the permitting process. This was done beforehand. When I was getting the permit for his garage, someone from the town noticed that there was a separate driveway, asked a question about the apartment, and here we are. So it's already an existing apartment. It just was never permitted as an apartment.
That meets all the standards for zoning code compliance.
Okay, so
All the notices have been provided. You do have a memo from the Director of Health regarding the septic system issue.
You got a paper right here.
go for it, Alan.
Dennis Johnson, Director of Health, August 15, 2018, Claremont remodel, 541 Sawmill Road, map 85, lot 65. The applicant's accessory apartment addition will result in an increase in the total water flow from the existing dwelling. In order to accommodate the additional wastewater discharge and enlarge the engineer-designed septic system will be installed to serve as a main house and apartment. Soil tests conducted on the applicant lot revealed a suitable area for installation of a new septic system. Based upon the soil results and the site plan review, it's recommended that the applicant proposed be approved with the following conditions. Prior to a final building approval, a new septic system shall be installed according with the engineer plan by Waldo and Associates to serve both the house and the apartment. Was that loud enough?
Yeah, so come to
You
find
have
out.
that?
Yes. So come to find
You
out,
want this?
the other gentleman that did the addition didn't want to deal with the septic issue. So he removed the wall in the upstairs to make 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and kind of get around having to touch the septic system. So then this was dropped in our lap as we started getting the permit process ready for this, to find out that their septic system wasn't adequately sized for the dwelling and for the apartment. So that's where we are here. So yeah, as far as I know, Waldo has been working with the town, and they pulled a permit, and they have all the plans for that septic system, and it has been approved, to my knowledge, because they sent me a bill, so.
So you're okay with it, obviously?
Yep.
So, that's it then for that, right? There's nothing else we can really,
No, it's all, everything that the applicant said is correct. Septic system design is part of our file. Would recommend you make that a condition of approval that Dennis has recommended there. This is the first public hearing, and pursuant to our new zoning amendment, you can waive the requirement for a second hearing if you would like.
okay, do we do that first, if we see it fit?
Yes, you would do that before you conclude the public hearing. You would do that.
But not before we ask for
No, you want
yeas and nays.
No. Before you.
Public
Well,
input.
yeah, public input, questions.
Anybody here have a question? Nobody? Okay. Oh, your phone? Because you're not sitting where you're supposed to.
And your sign.
Thank you.
Anybody from the public have a question at this time? Anybody from the public like to speak in favor? Against? All right, so, not hearing that, do you guys,
I would make the proposal that we eliminate the second hearing.
I'll second that.
second it. All right, I'm going to call that vote. All in favor?
I mean, I'll abstain just because I wasn't here
You
and they
weren't
have
here.
enough
Okay, that's
people,
fine.
right, for the presentation.
Well, it's passed. We needed, what, 2/3? 3/4. So we're good?
50%.
All right, so I'm going to close the public hearing, and we'll make a decision tonight if we can. So the public hearing is closed. It won't be continued, so you might want to hang around.
Okay. You want me to hang around?
Oh, you can, or you're going to know anyway.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
you got it. Okay, we got Quattro's Italian Cuisine. This is the second public hearing. I think everybody was pretty much here last time, so
Good evening. Luis Rojas, 14 Water Street.
there was a couple questions, right? There was a couple questions from last time? Phil had all the notes on it.
Recommended by the town engineer that the driveway, forgotten his exact words, you probably have that, it's actually
Is it this?
somewhere.
Is it the email?
Oh, here, I got
Kevin?
it.
The concrete driveway.
The outdoor?
Yeah.
Kevin put the outdoor, this is dated Wednesday, August 15th, from Kevin
Yeah.
McGee, our environmental planner. The outdoor dining will be expanded closer to the tree planted along the right-of-way at Water Street. The applicant needs tree pruning with the town tree ward, and all tree pruning would need to be conducted by a licensed arborist. Did you know that? Aware of that?
Actually, Lisa just gave me she just told me that she got an email this afternoon. I wasn't aware of it, but
that an issue?
that should be no problem. I have to talk to my landlord because he owns the property. I have to get permit from him first. And if he says okay, I mean, I'm sure he won't say no. I'm pretty sure that he will say it's okay.
From the town engineer that the driveway apron has to be repaired. That was discussed at the last meeting, you recall.
Yes, and I haven't talked to Doug about that, but I mean, I will contact him tomorrow and see if I can put those two, bring him up those two things together, see what he has to say again. And if he says fine, I will do it, which is not a problem.
But if he says no, then you realize you can't do it.
Yeah, well,
Right.
yeah, absolutely, yes.
You can't put the
Yeah,
outdoor
no,
seating.
I'm aware of that, yeah.
All right.
I don't think he will say no, because I spoke to him before, and he said whatever needs to be done, he will cooperate with it.
As long as you're paying for it, right?
Yeah, I know. Of course.
So are we going to add Kevin's in there as well?
Add that
Okay.
also.
All right, so nothing else has changed, right? No other,
No, we haven't changed anything yet.
any questions from the commission at this time? None. Any questions from the audience? Anybody like to speak in favor? Would anybody like to speak against? Okay, hearing none, looking for a close.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Thank you. All right, we have the regular meeting, so I'm looking for an approval for the revised agenda.
So moved.
Get a second? All in favor? Okay, let's deliberate. Claremont remodeling, somebody needs to make a motion. This one you are abstaining from.
That the Guilford Planning Zoning Commission approve a site plan revision? Okay.
I'll make a motion. Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve an application for an accessory apartment in an existing dwelling for Joshua Lockwood at 541 Sawmill Road, Lot 85, Lot 65, as shown on the application dated 7/16/2018, and proposed subsurface sewage disposal system, property of Jonathan Lockwood, dated June 15th, 2018, by Waldo and Associates. This application is approved. I don't believe there's any conditions.
Director of Health Condition.
Yep, based on Dennis Johnson's Director of Health's condition regarding that the septic system be updated prior to the plan approved. Let's see it, that's the one. This application is approved based on the finding that it conforms with the zoning code. The special permit is effective on August 24th, 2018, and upon filing with the town clerk.
Okay, Matt seconded, so any discussion on this one? Seems pretty straightforward, it's already in there. They know they're going to enlarge the septic system, they have to get their permits.
Yeah, it seems like they're just trying to right some things that were done incorrectly in the past.
All right, any other discussion? Call the vote, all in favor? No? Abstain? No. One abstain, got you, buddy. All right, he's gone, tell him he's all set. Quattros.
Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve a special permit to allow additional outdoor seating at Quattro's Restaurant, 14B, Water Street, map 32, lot 45, as shown on a sketch plan dated August 1st, 2018. Increase the seating from 4 to 6 tables. This application is approved with the following conditions: that in accordance with the town engineer's memo dated June 5, 2018, the concrete driveway apron will be repaired, and that the outdoor dining will be expanded closer, or I'll just say, in accordance with Kevin McGee's email dated August 15, 2018, related to the tree pruning. This application is approved based upon a finding that it conforms with the zoning code. The special permit is effective on August 24th, 2018, and upon filing with the town clerk.
Discussion.
Yeah, I just want to mention that Kevin's absolutely right about the 2 trees out front. I went down and took a look, and there's one large branch in the tree closest to the entry door in the driveway that sticks out quite close to the front of the building, so you'll see the path gets narrower if they move out at all. So they would definitely need to do that proper tree trimming based on Kevin's recommendation. That's it for me.
Okay, so we have our zoning officer, right, so, and we put it in the motion, so I think we're covered. Any other discussion, guys?
I'll say that I watched the video from last time, so I can vote on this one.
I know you did. All right, I'll call the vote, all in favor? All right, it's unanimous. Let's move on, we'll go to applications to be received. We have special permits, Lee Penn, 143 Lower Road, map 160, lot 49-2, zone R5. Special permit for an accessory apartment located in an existing accessory building. Receive and set a public hearing date for 9/5/18 to continue to 9/19/2018. I need a so move. Now I need a second. All in favor? James Goodman, 86 Middle Road, map 60, lot 37, zone R3, special permit to allow for the keeping of the golden pheasants on his property. Receive and set a public hearing for 9/19/2018 to be continued to 10/3/2018.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We've got coastal area management site plan. We have Elizabeth Waters. This is a receive and request action. Is there Elizabeth? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, yes. I thought you were the second one. Okay. Tell us what you are doing.
So currently, we're,
Who you are.
oh, sorry, Elizabeth Waters, address 78 Bay Pathway in Branford. I've been working at Snip Snaps in Guilford next to McDonald's. Address is 647 Boston Post Road in Guilford. And I just recently purchased the business, and I want to move to the middle unit, which is 641 Boston Post Road. So we're literally just moving 3 doors down. Same setup, just moving over.
So,
This is a change of use. That space was previously a retail store, now it's going to be a personal service establishment.
but it already was in that plaza to begin with.
Right, it's in a
Yeah.
different location.
So, we don't have to worry about septic or anything like that? No?
Well,
Okay.
there's a letter from
I
Dennis.
think we have a comment from Johnson.
The applicant, Dennis Johnson, Director of Health.
The applicant proposed relocation of a haircutting business within the retail building will not impact upon the existing septic system. It is recommending the application proposed site plan be approved.
Did you get a copy of that letter from the town? Do you want one?
Sure, thank you very much.
Do we need to worry about the space that she's leaving? Does that need to revert or anything like that?
I don't think we know what that space will be used for. So do you know what?
It's not being rented yet, so I'll be the empty unit, and I'm filling the middle one.
May require a similar application depending on what wants to go in there eventually.
I mean, we're not huge, like, we don't have, like, a lot of sinks, it's just one hair salon sink, so by moving, it's not gonna be like a ton of plumbing or anything. It's changing.
I'll make a motion.
Please do.
Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve a site plan revision for a change of use from retail to hair salon for Elizabeth Waters at 641 Boston Post Road, map 48, lot 11, as shown on an application dated 8/1/18. This application is approved based upon a finding that it conforms with the zoning code.
Just for the record, is it 641 or 647 or both? She said 647, we're saying 647.
641 is on all of our paperwork.
Yeah, that's where I'm moving. The current address is 647. So 641 is what's being changed.
You're in a 641 Boston.
What's the street address? That's what we need. We don't need,
Boston Post Road is the current established salon, and we're moving to 641 Boston.
what am I missing here? It's
That doesn't sound right.
a street address, so,
Yeah, well, there's no unit numbers, like, we all have our own,
no,
yeah,
Some places are like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
okay.
I didn't know that.
So what does the fire department have on their thing? Do we know? So like if they, God forbid, a call got called to was it 641 through 647?
Yeah, they'll know which one to go to.
Well, when they get there, they'll see the
All right,
It'll go in the
never mind. I just never heard of multiple addresses for one building,
Yeah, normally it's like
one
a unit
lot.
number or something, yeah.
Okay, I won't get into that. So there's a motion,
I'll second.
second. Any discussion? We're good? I'll call the vote. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Good, all set?
You are.
Thank you guys, have a good night.
Good night.
Rick Maynor, Bittner Park. This is just a receive for map 97, lot 10, zone R5, site plan proposal for a disc golf course in a wooded area of the park.
So moved. What, do we have a date for that being received?
There's no public hearing required, so all you have to do is receive it.
And are we going to take action?
No, we're not asking you to take action yet. Still requires wetlands approval, so you can't take action yet.
So why are we receiving it?
You've got the application. It starts the clock for, processing it, so this is routine.
Okay.
Okay, zoning amendments. We have a petition from Walter Corbier to amend the zoning code to add section to regulate aircraft operation. The purpose of this section is to restrict aircraft landings and takeoffs within the town of Guilford, in order to protect its inhabitants from hazardous noise, disruption to quiet possession, and enjoyment associated with such activities. Receive and set a public hearing date of 9/15/18.
Is 9:15 the date that is?
That's all right, yeah, that's okay.
I thought it was 9:19 or 9:5.
Good question, 19. Yes, you're right, 9/19.
So receive and set a public hearing date of 9/19.
Availability on that date now, or should it be 10:3?
I don't think this is going to be a big deal application. Yeah, that's good, we're good.
Okay.
So does somebody have to say so moved, or no?
Yeah.
Just receive.
Yeah, move to receive.
Set the date.
Second.
All in favor? All right, subdivision, Migliotti Construction, Long Hill Estates, West, map 57, lot 205, zone R3-4, lot subdivision. Receive that.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, under other, I have the appointment of Jason Markey to the Design Review Committee, the DRC.
Okay, I want to add something to
Yes,
that.
please.
When I was before them last time, they said, based upon their review of it and discussion, I can't actually serve on their committee because it would be double dipping to be on planning and zoning and be on design.
I'm not sure that that's true. Somebody has suggested that was the case.
Yeah.
That apparently there was a previous example of where there was a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission who was also on the Design Review Committee or wanted to be, and somebody determined at that time that it couldn't happen, but I'm not.
We're on inland wetlands.
Right, I'm not sure that that's correct, so what I
And
was.
not to mention, Design Review is an advisory only.
Yes, exactly.
Correct.
So what I would suggest is if you just table, you're actually doing this. It's the chairman's job to make these appointments. So wait for Phil. If you don't mind, we'll run this by the town council just briefly to make sure that I think what Josh has said is probably correct.
Okay.
That previous determination is probably not right, but we want to make sure that we do it legally.
Okay. Then we will be waiting. All right, under other, I think Alan wanted the floor for a minute, or under 5, if he can do it.
Yep. I would like to see us review this as a committee here, as far as limiting the response from the public on for and against. I would like to see a 5-minute moratorium put on it, so that we have everyone get a chance to get up for 5 minutes. If their speech would be longer, they needed more time at the very end when all the people have said their piece on for or against, then the person can get back up again and a second time and get another 5 minutes. I think we should limit it to 5 minutes per person.
Does that include the applicant or just members in the audience?
Huh?
Does that include the applicants also, or just members in the audience, the public?
People from the audience. No, the people that come in with the application, we can't limit them to 5 minutes. That's ridiculous to say that. We got to let them speak out and say everything they have to say about what they're bringing before us, so we have a good judgment to make. But the people that are sitting out there that want to get up and say something, if there's a lot of people, especially if there's a lot of people, if we get up, we get one person gets up here for 20 minutes and another one gets up 20 minutes, all these people are sitting out here. And a lot of it is repeat, so I think we should limit it down to 5 minutes to every applicant to say for or against. And then at the very end, when everyone's had their say, if somebody wants to get up and get another 5 minutes, they can. And that will keep it down to a reasonable hour of us getting through this stuff. So I want to know what everybody thinks on that.
So my suggestion would be, is, because it's probably something that Phil needs to be around for as well, as the chairman, is why don't we put some thoughts together around that, find out legally if we can do that, because I know that there was some, I don't want to say controversy, but there were some certain things out of some hearings way back, probably when some people weren't even on this commission, that I could recall, where we were getting into the late hours, and there was questions about, can we legally do that? So I think maybe we should get some idea first.
Sure. If I can make a comment, I mean, it's really the chairman's discretion at any point, and he can, and he should. And I think this would be a bylaws change to us if we wanted to do something that you want to do, Alan. I don't know that we need to go so far as to make any affirmative change. I think the chairman should start every meeting and say, we're going to keep the public comment to 2 minutes for each person, and if there's time afterwards and you didn't have what you wanted to say said, then you could just speak again. I don't think that our body needs to do anything further than just have the chairman outline that as the rules that he's going to implement going forward. And I think that that's a good idea that you have.
Well, the reason I said to make it more or less mandatory so that anyone coming into this meeting knows what they're coming into. If they come in here with a 15-minute talk, and you go tell them, oh, we're going to make this 5 minutes, they're going to be upset.
Well, the chairman can say that at the start of every meeting.
That's what I'm saying, but somebody's already here for the meeting.
We don't need to. We're not going to notice that we're changing the amount of time that people can speak at our meetings from unlimited to 5 minutes, because currently the amount of time that people are speaking at our meetings are limited by the discretion of the chairman, right? So if the chairman were to walk in here today and say that he's only going to allow 30 seconds for public comment, he can do that. He's not precluded from doing something like that. He's not going to, because, we're an open body and we want to listen to what people have to say, but it's at the discretion of the chairman.
I just think it would be a good idea to let everyone know when they're coming to the meeting that they have 5 minutes, so they would lay their sheet out accordingly, so they would talk about what they want to talk about and not drag it on. And that way they know they got a 5-minute limit, and if they want to talk after the 5 minutes, they wait till everybody's done and they get to talk at the end.
Is there a place where a public member could look up what our kind of, what the rules are related to that and then be prepared?
We go by Robert's rules. Our committees,
Right.
yeah, Robert's rules, which are documents.
They do have
anyway, we
bylaws,
can see
but they
them.
don't-
I'm just
They
saying
don't
that, like,
address that.
your average citizen may not even know to go look somewhere to then be informed that they're only going to have 5 minutes to speak, you know what I mean? So like, certainly it makes sense that the chairman would say something at the beginning, but to say that we're going to have a rule so that they can come and be prepared, I don't know if that's going to happen, you know what I mean? Sure, if they come in on a regular basis, they'll know. Or if,
We should talk about it with Phil here, and I think that that's what we should hold off on until. Or if you want to, at one of the other, are you on the planning committee? You could talk about it at the planning committee to bring it through, something like that as well.
I just wanted to bring it up for discussion, so that, not at this, just bring it up at this meeting so that we know in the future we're going to talk about it maybe the next meeting. So we'll let everybody vent their side, and we'll see what we come up with, but I think we should come up with a limit.
I also think maybe, Lisa, you can put together a little email, just send it out to all the commission, including Phil, that way he knows, what we kind of talked about, and because like Josh said, I think it's important that he really, ultimately that's been their discretion as the chairman, so. All right, thanks, Alan. So, seeing we have no other business, we have some bills to pay. Somebody want to make a motion?
$171 to Shore Publishing.
All in favor? Okay, and we have to do the approval of the minutes. Somebody want to make a motion to that effect?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? Everything look good, substantially right? Okay, all in favor? Aye. See, yes, you are. 2 abstentions. Didn't you second it? Oh,
I second.
All right. All right, perfect. Then, seeing no other business, I will call for an adjournment. All in favor? Thank you, guys and girls.